The following program is sponsored by Capitec. Hello, and a very warm welcome to the Insider SA, your guide to living better. Join us today as we open up to our Rainbow Nation with artist S04E21, whose albinism is just another shade of the rainbow. Will Pride of Pietermaritzburg, Ayanda Thabethe, be the next Miss Supranational? Zakes Bantwini, Nomthebo Zikoda and Wouter Kellerman's Grammy keeps SA music on the world's playlist. Fazlin Hussein makes bathrooms the new frontier for colour. Jessica Jane Molebatsi's Afro classics are the future of SA fashion. Khaos, Jamaican frontman of the reggae band The Rudimentals, now calls Mzansi home. And Tulani Hesse in Mpilo Ngukana's Lunga Gallery brings the art world to the township. Through almost 30 years of the Rainbow Nation, attitudes towards our fellow citizens living with albinism have remained among our last prejudices. It is artist S04E21's quest to change that, one magnificent image at a time.
I was born in the Eastern Cape in Mthatha. I am a Black woman living with albinism. I am a visual activist. I make artworks primarily in drawing and printmaking that aim to create constructive representation on issues related to albinism.
The daughter of 2 teachers and oldest of 3 children, S04E has used her life experience as a learning opportunity for the wider community.
I lived with both my grandparents, like I was always buzzing with people. And I think when I started attending school and interacting with people outside of my grandmother's house, I started realizing that, okay, I am not like the average person. So I was exposed to a lot of very painful experiences. At times found myself questioning my abilities as a person to be able to carry out my life. I just knew, well, okay, you know what? I am different and I will have to get used to it.
Watching her child transform the language of inclusivity into the picture of it makes Shumekazi Kwinana a proud mother.
What I admire about my daughter right now is where she is in terms of her mental position. She's headstrong, she's bold, she's confident, she's not shy to go out and do whatever she wants to do. Of course, as a mother, I'm proud. I'm so happy that she has defied the odds with her challenges with vision. But the fact that she's been able to challenge herself in that space is something that then, to me as a mother, gives me comfort.
As the eldest of 3 children, S04E's talent and drive has earned her sister Namgaso's respect.
Obviously, with all siblings, it starts off rocky. We grew up fighting a lot, but we've come to understand each other, and I think she's probably one of my best friends now. How I help Ati out is by being her logistics person. I drive her around, I get her supplies, I help her get supplies, I help her get to her exhibitions, and then I also take pictures for her Instagram page.
People living with albinism have issues affecting their eyesight, but Miss Kwinana more than compensates with her artistic vision.
So I found myself in a space where I'm like, okay, you know what? Images play a very vital role in how we communicate every single day. With this particular work, I talk about myself, but I incorporated my retina, which is a picture from my optometrist. And what I've done is I've actually drawn the retina at the background of my artwork, but I've done that using bubbles. And that kind of talks about the issue, but it has a playful effect. You know, as an artist with a visual impairment, there are some challenges, but in this work, I'm saying, you know, take it on. The sky's the limit.
As we were to discover, S04E may be a printmaker, but she sees things on a cinematic scale.
I am a huge fan of very large scales, as you can see. So how I go about this is I buy a clean plate, which usually looks this clean. I attach the printed out image on the bottom and I go over the outlines that I want. I use this particular blade and I scratch on my surface. So my darker areas are places where I scratch the most, and my lighter areas are areas that I do not scratch at all. I would apply ink for a dry point plate, and from there I would put it on from corner to corner. The whole plate has to be black. In wiping back, I need the scraped areas to sink in, to pull in the ink, and then I put it through a press, and what the image will look like is this.
Since gaining her master's, this Umtata-born talent has signed with a renowned gallery and is showcasing her work in group exhibitions and art fairs, both locally and abroad.
I am a huge fan of surrealism. I like when it is used for topics. It kind of puts a playful effect into the subject matter or the themes that I'm exploring. I work with a very sensitive topic already, and so when I come up with my ideas and what should be in the images, I need to find topics and themes and tropes that already embody positivity. Bees are a symbol of good luck. So when I create my body of work, I incorporate such things. So when you look at the image, you already get the idea that, okay, this is welcoming.
Life is beautiful, so enjoy it, says an artist we can all be proud of. And anyone who still has an issue with albinism, get over it. Next up, can Ayanda Thabethe do at Miss Supranational what the artists behind Bayete just did at the Grammys? KZN's Ayanda Thabethe entered Miss South Africa as a final year BSc student in nutrition. Her passion for combating dietary ills saw her win the People's Choice vote, and so very nearly the crown.
My name is Ayanda Thabethe, and in 2022 I entered Miss South Africa and ended up being the first runner-up. Right now I am at home in Taylor's-Holt, which is very close to Pietermaritzburg in KZN. I live here with my younger brother Andile and my two loving parents.
It was outside of what she calls a blessed childhood that Ayanda decided to play her role in addressing malnutrition and obesity.
At first, when I decided to go into pageantry, it was something I decided just to do for fun. But it was in doing my first pageant, which was Miss KZN Queen, that I realized this is something I really love to do. We had amazing community outreach projects that we did. And through that first project that I did, I figured that I wanted to do so much more outside of that. Since Miss SA, I have to honestly say that my biggest achievement is the campaign that I started, and we are feeding children one at a time.
The young Miss Thabethe's own healthy upbringing saw her excel in cross-country running, becoming captain of the school athletics team.
I started running very early in my life, so I come from a very athletic family, so it was never really my choice to do it. And as soon as I started primary school and cross-country was offered as a sport, that's when I started, as early as grade 1, and I carried that through with me. This trail I started running when I was about 14, so that was about 2013, and I only started doing it because I wanted to challenge myself more. I started off on the road, just running. It was easy and smooth, but here I have so many rocks, so many ditches I could probably go into, so it's a good challenge for me.
One of Ayanda's earliest life lessons was that you become who you spend time with, and she invests hers in the community.
So outside of the difficulty and the challenge that I find from running this trail, which I actually enjoy, I also come across so many of my neighbors, or even people I've never seen before who know me and they greet me by my name. And you can always stop by and have a small conversation, which is really lovely. It's a good way of feeling like yourself again, and also just reminding you why you do what you do every single day.
Right at home, hiking, camping, and showing off her province, this beauty queen also has an appetite for speed.
Today we are at Belito's ski park to do some water activities. I have my little brother, Thabethe here, and we're about to have fun. Really go for it. I would consider myself to be an adventurous person with undies.
Definitely not. I don't think I'm adventurous at all.
But when we're together, we love to do things and we just go into it.
As it turned out, Andile was going to have more use for his life jackets than his sister.
My favorite activity has to be the tubing. It was so much fun. Just holding on to it was difficult at first because I have literally no upper body strength. But my brother is next to me, afraid that I'll let go. So he's shouting the entire time, don't let go, don't let go, we won't fall. Does he not fall twice?
Leave no man behind. That's how Ayanda rolls, especially after the way her brother supported her.
My proudest sibling moment with Ayanda was when it was the Miss SA competition and she was wearing the dress with pins, and halfway through the runway she got stuck and she didn't let that stop her. I felt like, nah, that was crazy. That was probably
that's
my
so
proudest
sweet.
moment.
I didn't even think that he'd bring that up, but it was so lovely to have him there. He's literally sitting in the front row shouting, yes, boys, every time it was me. That's the only reason I was smiling so much on stage. I was listening, hearing him the entire time.
Someone else cheering from the Thabethe family corner was dress designer Casey Jean.
My journey with Casey has been phenomenal. From the first moment we met each other, she had a vision in mind, but she wanted me to get an input as well. And having that kind of relationship with somebody from the get-go is good, because you know that as you carry on, it's going to be smooth sailing.
I usually work with the client as much as possible and try and channel their persona, and whether they are really bubbly like Ayanda or if they are more subdued, you've got to reflect that in your designs.
As she prepares for Miss Supranational this July, her benchmark is that Miss SA finale gown she wore.
For Ayanda's dress, we did have a theme to follow. It was precious metals, and I wanted to use fabrics that hadn't been used before and make my own fabric. So the color that we've used for the dress is gunmetal. We've used actual metal tubes to create our own fabric.
The dress feels incredible on me. I remember telling Casey that my favorite part of my body is my waist. So we found something that would accentuate my waist. It's heavy, which is even more fun to walk in. Plus, it sounds like Christmas, which is my favorite holiday. Wearing a beautiful dress helps with my confidence because I know that if I look great, I'll feel great, and then I can show people that energy. And with a dress this beautiful, I could not feel beautiful in it.
Ayanda's verve owes much to her biggest supporters, her parents, Clement and Tembi Thabethe.
It's so important for me to have my family with me. We are such a small family. We're literally a family of 4. So everything we've ever done since I was a baby, we've done together. So whenever I'm venturing into something new, I always want to have them with me. They're the people that cheer the loudest wherever I am. They are the people that tell me to go for something even when I'm afraid to go. They boost me, and that's why I have all the confidence I have now.
The younger Ayanda compared to the Ayanda that she is right now, there's no difference. She's been like this. She will just go to my drawer there and she will just take out my wooden spoon. She will just call me, Mommy, tell me, how do you feel about such and such a thing? And I'll be like, no, I have no time to explain for you. I'm from work, I have to do things.
Ayanda growing up was like wishing to be on stage. She was always pausing. Whenever she's getting a new dress, she will pose like she wants to have photos. She was growing up willing to do something big.
When I was younger, I very much dreamed about being on the Miss SA stage, and that was a lovely dream at the time. But because now I have been on the Miss SA stage, I do feel like there's still more room for me to grow, more for me to do. I would like to see myself in the industry where I can be a personality, and I'd like to be on even bigger stages than Miss SA, which I'm very happy that I'm going towards achieving. Otherwise, I'm happy with the goals that 8-year-old Ayanda sets, but as Ayanda grows up, she has more goals and she plans on going even further. The sky is the limit.
First stop en route is Poland this July, where we hope the next name on the Miss Supranational crown will be Ayanda Thabethe. The African Grammy Winners Gala was the best reason to party. In honor of Zakes Bantwini, Nomcebo Zikoda and Wouter Kellerman landing this year's Best Global Music Performance for the single Bayete.
I'm here to celebrate African music and African winners, and also the Grammys is coming on the continent. And it's going to be such a beautiful night to just celebrate the excellence of African music.
What this Grammy means for South Africans, you know, I've always wanted to, or someone very close to me to win a Grammy. So we can have a bigger voice and influence to the next generation on just guiding them.
You know, Wouter is an incredible artist. He's got a reputation that speaks for itself. His music speaks for itself. He's a previous Grammy Award winner. And I think for him to be able to envision, you know, a song like Bayete together with Nomcebo and Zakes was a bit of a genius move in my opinion. So I'm really proud of all of them. I'm really proud of Wouter, I'm really proud of Zakes, and I'm really proud of Nomcebo.
What makes this extra special is this is an all South African collaboration. This is my 4th nomination and my 2nd win, but this is my first all South African win. It just makes my heart so happy that we could pull it off with all that really difficult competition. The Grammy voting community listened to the music and they liked our song and they voted us to be the winner.
So as a musician, my take on Queen Nomcebo as a vocalist is she's been doing this for a long time. She is seasoned, she gets it. She knows how to evoke emotions in you from her voice. I always say her voice has so much soul, you know, and depth. I'm always inspired by her and may she continue to soar.
Zakes Bantwini sees the triumph as much bigger than him.
I mean, this celebration means everything because I think for us, it opens up another opportunity for other artists to be celebrated. I think if there's one thing that we've managed to do here is to create this particular evening to celebrate each and every Grammy winner moving forward, you know, in Africa.
It means a lot. Like, I'm so excited about this Grammy winning. For me, there's more. There is coming. South Africa is being recognized all over the world. I'm happy that I'm the second after Miriam Makeba to win this, and I'm so happy to open the door for others who are still coming, especially female that are going to win this one.
It was such a beautiful moment to see her so happy. The last woman who won a Grammy is 1966, Miriam Makeba. So for me to be part of this very special moment that the country has been waiting for many decades is just absolutely very satisfying.
Another thing is it encourages people, especially in the township, you know, young people who are thinking that dreaming is a waste of time and saying, oh man, if Zakes can do it, I myself can also do it.
Right after this, green is the new white in your bathroom, and African prints in Western cuts reinvent classic couture.
Sponsored by Capitec.
Interior designer Fazlin Hussein's work requires her to see the world as others do. Coming from a nation this diverse has been the best training in seeing just about any client's point of view.
Having a busy lifestyle, it's really important to come home to a space that's your home, your sanctuary, so that you can feel revitalized and energized. The look and feel we went for is a very neutral color palette. In fact, the client actually said she felt like she was walking into a hotel, so I think it worked out perfectly. The existing interior architecture of the building is very industrial and cool. What we've done is we've actually elevated it by introducing this absolutely gorgeous kitchen island. We've got additional seating, a wine storage, and extra storage, which is really important for kitchens. In addition to the kitchen island, we added this contemporary spiral LED light, which brings perfect lighting over this work surface.
The mountain views are the hero in this room, so the client and Fazlin agreed on interiors which wouldn't compete.
The furniture we chose is very contemporary, but also very soft and organic. We decided to introduce marble into the living room because it elevates the space and adds an extra feel of elegance. The coffee table has a beautiful organic feel and an organic cut as well. It's always fun to add some custom elements to your space to make it extra unique, and we did that by adding a custom TV unit with a minimalist fluted design.
The challenge was to create a sense of spacious ease.
Let's talk about the master bedroom. I absolutely love this space. It's calming and relaxing. I actually feel like I want to move in. We introduced a custom headboard design in a vertical fluted design with LED lighting at the back. The LED lighting then lights up the gorgeous texture wall, which adds to the organic and natural feel. The artwork we chose for this space is a beautiful landscape. It's not only amazing to wake up to, but it also adds depth in a very narrow space. Other interesting ways we added depth is by introducing mirrors. Another way of adding interest to your space is fresh flowers. A great tip for putting a lovely bouquet together is find your focal point, choose interesting pieces that you like, also choose colors that ties in with your color scheme, and don't be afraid to get creative. What is a master bedroom without a master ensuite? The decor we chose for the bathroom adds to that sanctuary feeling. So you've got this side table with candles, beautiful plants, and beautiful textured art. A great tip when designing your bathroom is use color on your walls, add artwork, add decor, add accessories. It doesn't have to be a sterile space.
Case in point, the green painted walls complemented by penny gum in a vase, a touch of nature to bring life to the place.
What I love best about this project was, given this empty shell, but then transforming it into a more soft and calming space, because initially this is very sterile and industrial. Being able to transform the space to that degree was quite exciting.
Even more impressive than fulfilling one brief is designing an apartment which any number of new clients would happily call home. Seeing the promise of the Rainbow Nation, Jessica Jane Molebatsi didn't make a wish. With no financing, just one order and a rented room, she started a fashion label. This is her story.
I think as a fashion designer, how you create your garments, what kind of garments you choose to do stylistically does develop and change. I think you grow as a designer as you go. It dictates to you and you dictate to it. I generally like to stick towards classic forms of fashion. I really would like for people to enjoy what they get from me as much today as they will in the future.
Jessica's design draws on a heritage of being born in Mpumalanga to French-Scottish parents, raised in KZN with a German stepfather, then studying fashion in Durban.
You love it.
I love it.
I love it. Okay, let's try it on with the blouse. In terms of styling and creating of my garments, as a designer, I'm always trying to incorporate both Western styling with traditional South African cultures in the most cohesive kind of classical way as possible. So although there's a very South African flair, it still comes across as very classical and international in its own right. So this is the chale, which is often used at traditional functions in South African culture, often worn by women that are married and have to cover their shoulders. But in this case, it's a fashion item. In many traditional Xhosa garments, we incorporate certain colors. One of those colors being this turquoise blue. This is a 1940s golden era of Hollywood-inspired dress. It's very structured. I have incorporated the very African-inspired feeling through the fabric choice and design.
And nothing beats wearing it.
I feel very regal and, feminine, and I feel like my femininity is very highlighted in Jessica's designs. They make me feel very beautiful, and I'm not one to really encompass my femininity, but in these dresses I feel like a beauty queen. The Noluthando print, as you can see in the wallpaper and bedding here, is very special to me. It was created as part of the Noluthando range that I showed during Paris Fashion Week. It is a uniquely French print called a toile de juillet. This print was created back in the day when they used to document special occasions by drawing little images on cloth, and then developed into a toile de juillet that we know today, which is primarily used in interior. With the combination of the French Xhosa range, I created a very uniquely South African toile de juillet with a Xhosa leaning. And as you can see, there are very uniquely South African images like our baobab, our national flower, the protea, our babagas on the side of the street, mkukus, you name it. So there is a lot in this print that people can relate to.
It has been an incredible journey from a 7-year-old girl whose gogo first taught her needle and thread.
Sewing from so young, it's in my blood. I don't know if I could do anything else. I love it. And I think to this day, I still wouldn't choose to do anything else. I feel really lucky to have an amazing team that works with me. We've been together for a long time. We work well together. They understand me even sometimes when I don't understand myself. When I get exhausted and my brain is just tired, they just pick up and carry on.
A self-starter, Jessica is nevertheless grateful for what she has, especially her marriage with actor and producer Wandile Molebatsi.
Jessica and I actually met on a film set. The film was called A Million Colors, and I was playing a character called Umuntu Ndebele. Jess was in the wardrobe department. I was flirting with her, trying to make her, and she wasn't getting it, she wasn't digging it. But that's how we met, and it's weird because I guess we met in a creative space,
He fancied me apparently from the get-go, but I was kind of at work. It didn't really hit home. He says he was flirting, but he's a really bad flirter.
Wow. Our experience hasn't been easy, and I think it's just the reality of the country that we live in. We're reminded that Jessica is of Scottish-French Mauritian background and Naki Motswana half Xhosa.
In many ways, we were lucky in the sense that we both came from Christian backgrounds, and I think that made things a lot easier for us culturally. I mean, there's things that make families unique in their own rights, but I think with us, the fact that we're both creatives creates for a very interesting environment a lot of the time. Although, with fashion design, I think fashion design sits on a spectrum which is equally as creative as it is technical. So we're not like, creative, where actors maybe tend to be a little bit more creative. I'm the more level kind of.
But I'm a level producer. I'm a level-headed producer.
Practicing what they preach, the couple and their family live the message that we're stronger together.
My deepest desire is just to leave the kind of country that our uncles and our aunts had fought for,
I would like to see the South Africa that I leave a better place than what I'm experiencing it to be right now.
We should leave a South Africa that's better than the one we found when we got here, I think that's very important to any young father, any young mother. And I think we forget how incredible South Africa is.
If any reminder was needed, Jessica has taken it upon herself to provide it, showcasing her new collection in Cape Town from the 30th of March. Just ahead, finding music in South Africa's diversity, Jamaican reggae frontman Khaos and his family join the party.
Sponsored by Capitec.
Africa the future, that ain't what she used to. Get it on my mobile, not on my computer. But if I were to tell you that I told you...
Music has a tradition of calling out what's wrong in society. But Marlon Cottrell, the Jamaican vocalist of a top SA reggae band, also points out how much is right about our country, which is why he's made it his home.
I am the lead singer of the Rudimentals. Most of you guys know me as Khaos. I am a recording artist and I am a model. I'm originally from Jamaica, Kingston to be exact. I started performing in high school actually. I wrote a song. Now when I think of it, it was rubbish. But at that time, it was a big thing for me because that was the first song I ever wrote. And modeling came in after. There was a TV series in Jamaica. I wasn't a model at the time, but they wanted personality because apparently I'm a personality. I said, okay, why not? Let's do it. Did it, actually loved it, and just continue.
After signing with a local agency, his modeling career really took off, allowing him to pursue his passion for music. On a weekend at the Breeda River, we learned how reggae led Khaos to meeting his wife, Lana Holtz, and exploring South Africa as a whole.
We try to travel as much as we can, as in me and the family. My wife, she's German, Serbian. So most of the times we travel outside of South Africa, not so much inside. Most of the times I travel in South Africa is for work.
The cultural pot of gold which Marlon found in this rainbow nation was one which Lana had also come here in search of.
She was stalking me on Facebook.
Well, not really, not really. The whole story is I had a friend from Germany visiting me here in Cape Town, and it was a Saturday night. We went out to this club. I saw this guy standing by the bar, and I was like, this guy's hot. And I said, I need to speak to him. And once I wanted to speak to him, he was gone. 2 weeks later, my friend, she was already back in Germany, and she reached out to me, said, can you remember that guy at the bar? And I was like, yes, why? She said, I found him on Facebook. And I reached out to Marlon and we started chatting. And I was like, oh, by the way, were you there at the club
and I
2
said,
weeks ago?
No, it wasn't me.
Him.
It was the wrong person, but I'm saying, hey, if you want me to be that guy, fine, I'll be that guy.
The bonus has been their daughter Nala, and watching Lana become as devoted a mum as Marlon's own mother, Doreen.
Life as parents has changed a lot. I feel that motherhood, and probably it's the same like parenthood in general, is full of contrasts. What really matters now is just her and raising a good human, I guess.
Yeah. Now, order 3 pizzas. Say, hello, can I have 3 pizzas? Hello. She's an amazing mother. Just whenever I need a calming influence, she's always there to just calm me down, like them antidepressant medications. She just come and just mellow it out. I admire her, and I couldn't be happier.
They are a couple for whom South Africa has been the best ever surprise. As Khaos tells it, traveling is the antidote to ignorance.
In terms of the diversity of South Africa, I mean, I was shocked when I came here to see, so many people living together as one. Every culture is different. Every people and their culture is different. I feel at home now. They welcome me with open arms. We incorporate each other.
Fellow expats like their German friends Robert and Mona do their part to support South Africa by often returning as tourists.
South Africa is just a great country. We used to live here 2.5 years and 3.5 years, and it was just amazing, and we always come back. We're always looking forward to come back.
We love to come back to South Africa at least once a year because, we love the diversity here, the weather, the people, and it's just beautiful.
We're looking forward to the next 2 days spending here with our friends, having great food, having nice wine, and just enjoy the sun. Yeah.
Yes, and we do some pizza tonight.
The band has provided the soundtrack to Marlon and Lana's new life in their adopted home country and formed their greater family.
It's a funny story how I became a member of the Rudimentals. I remember I was at this club with a friend from Zimbabwe. This guy came to him and I was talking to him, and then he introduced me to the guy saying, this guy is a musician, he plays music. And I'm saying, okay, what kind of music? He said, reggae music. And the guy said, take my number from my friend and hit me up. And I'm like, nah, man, this is Africa. What kind of reggae music you guys talking about? So my model agent, he's into the music scene and he knew them. And he said, listen, I have a band that I know that I can connect you with, knowing that I did music. And I said, okay, all right, cool. Started messaging them. He invited me to rehearsal one day. And I said, okay, cool. It was the same guy at the club who came for me. And I'm like, oh man, that must be good. You know what I mean? So went to rehearsals. They were doing the thing. And I'm saying, they're actually talented musicians, like really, really good musicians. And they gave me the mic, sang a few things, and they said, we have a show on Saturday. By the way, this was Wednesday when they told me that. I had no clue what to do. I had no clue about songs. They just cued me by eye, looked at me, and that's when I came in, did my thing, and then I'm here now, 10 years later. What the Rudimental stands for is it's just having a good time, man. When you see us perform, you see energy. And we pride ourselves on live performance and energy, giving that energy to the crowd and receiving it back. In terms of our song, it depends on the mood, what we sing about. We could sing about something serious here. We could sing about party vibe, all of that, more up-tempo kind of vibe. For the most part, it's just fun music.
When the Rudimentals hit the road, it's 11 members plus roadies. But whether families or reggae bands, Ashley Carolus gives a warm welcome.
We offer river cruises on the Breda River. We have a lovely deli available where we offer goods like cheeses, pâtés, cold meats, breads, etc., where you can almost assemble your own cheese platter. We do have a variety of alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages available, and we offer wine tastings as well.
Whilst Marlon prefers the hiking his new country offers to the beaches, oceans and rivers, he was happy to give this experience a try.
Yeah, I'm definitely loving the boat trip. The thing is, for me, I rarely do things like this because I can't swim. I have a big fear of water, or open water, so for me to be here, I'm being a bit brave, but love it. For me, the food was amazing. The wine, delicious. The biltong, I'm a fan of biltong. I love bread as well, and butter. Everything was nice. In Cape Town, we drive to town, back, sometimes to come inland to see something different. I like that.
While his daughter learns the finer points of braai bread and pizza dough, Dad and the band have been rehearsing for upcoming shows.
The future that I envision for the Rudimentals is getting our music out to the entire world. Getting it like a household name in Jamaica, for instance. Because the thing is, in Jamaica, Afrobeat is popular now. But before that, coming here to South Africa, learning about South African house, deep house and all of that, I had no clue that this music existed. So for me, it's getting our music from here at the African continent out to Jamaica. That's my goal.
If the Italians got every corner of the known world enjoying pizza, then there's hope for the Rudimentals' African reggae to find an appetite abroad.
So how was the pizza, guys?
Really good.
Awesome. Really nice, delicious,
Yeah.
right? Mona and Robert, thank you so much for you guys coming here all the way from Germany to join us here in Montecure. We feel special.
Thanks.
Cheers.
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 It takes a lot of toppings to make a fine pizza. Adding German and Jamaican ingredients to our Xhosa, Indian or Cape Malay rainbow only makes the recipe tastier. Coming up, gallery founders Tulani Hesi and Mpilo Ntlkana find success by rooting themselves in the community.
Say hello to living better with our credit card. Shop in-store or online and get 1.5% cash back just for spending and banking with us. Switch and live better with Capitec.
Art reflecting the reality and spirit of South African life hangs on famous museum and gallery walls across the globe. What childhood friends Mpilo Ngukana and Tulani Hesi wanted was a world-class gallery in the same community creating the art. So they opened one in Langa.
16 on Liratoli was founded in 2019, and we really wanted to create a space that uses art as a tool to foster empathy, understanding, and solidarity between people in the community of Langa, South Africa at large, and in the continent. Africans and people in general have to really take ownership of their story. And I think that this is really what we want 16 on Liratoli to be. We want this to be a platform where people can tell their own stories, and people can tell their stories to their community. A lot of the artists come from these areas, but their artworks get exported out of these areas. So we don't have a chance where the youth can come and interact with the art and really engage with the arts. So we really want to be a space that is welcoming for everyone.
The vision of these friends was one immediately grasped by Emma van der Merwe, director and head curator of an internationally renowned South African gallery.
This space is more than just a project space. First and foremost, it's a formal visual arts gallery, and it's centered in a community that I think has been waiting for something like this for a very, very long time. So we were very proud and very enthusiastic to kind of bring what we considered to be our expertise, our experience in the industry for over 100 years, and collaborate in what we consider to be a long-term project. We just want to be here to support and encourage as much visual arts in the industry as possible.
The exhibition that we currently have is in partnership with Everard Reed, and it's called Natural Habitat. And in this exhibition, we're essentially exploring how the artists in the group show have all been inspired by their surroundings, which is the township.
We've chosen these artists that we see on the walls for a specific reason. For example, behind us is the amazing Blessing Ngobeni. Just having him in our space is a blessing on its own. To the left of us in the corner, we've got Ignatius Mokone. He's a big brother to us, and just getting to see his work on a daily basis and also on a commercial basis means a lot. And one of my all-time favorite artists from Langa, fortunately, Mongezi Kum. We shared this dream with him 5 years ago, and now he's part of this Natural Habitat exhibition. And to me, it's full circle because he's one of my heroes in the art game. And he's from Langa, and he's helping us live this dream in terms of positioning Langa as an art destination.
To artist Mongezi Gum, such a space is a stepping stone in the river, allowing the world to come to township artists and vice versa.
There are so many artists here in our location that are growing, but they don't find the people who can grow them by teaching them. So I'm one of the artists who are trying to give them something that take them far.
The gallery and its coffee shop are a hub, drawing in creatives and entrepreneurs and opening their eyes to opportunity, rather like Tulani's choice of bank.
I've been banking with Capitec now for over 10 years, I think it's like 13 years. And what appealed to me was its simplicity, cheaper banking fees. Yeah, I was just looking for something which was economical for my lifestyle. One of the top functions that appeals to me when using the app is the fact that each time I transact, a certain amount of money goes towards a savings account. And you want to be able to transact, but also have something that goes back into your pocket. And to me, that's a revolutionary aspect of what Capitec has on their app.
Across the square from the art space, Mpilo's cousin Tulani Hedman is co-founder of a music academy, forming another key creative hub in Langa.
Having facilities such as Bridges for Music or the Bridges Academy in our communities is very important. As much as we lack resources, you get a lot of talented youth with potential to become greater within their careers or even South African exports. However, without resources, it's very difficult for them to achieve their dreams. We have designed a curriculum which is the Music MBA, which focuses around 3 pillars, and one of them is the mindfulness. The creative space is facing challenges with mental health and mental well-being. We see that a lot of them have faced challenges of trauma, substance abuse, and so forth. Hence, we feel that it's very important to give them the necessary tools to deal with those challenges. The second pillar is around music, which is music production, sound designs, understanding how music works, the music industry works. And then the third one is entrepreneurship. We feel that it's very important to also understand the business side of things in order to be a change maker within your community.
When the guys tell you their gallery has its roots in the community, they mean it. As they brainstormed a way to expand their business, they found a key supplier in their backyard.
Currently, the back space of our gallery is going to be converted in what is going to be called Cafe Liritoli. When we established the gallery in 2019, we found at the back of the gallery elderly ladies and some youth growing produce. However, they didn't really have the right equipment, facilities, water, and it's about marrying the two together. Growing is an art, and such is what we're doing on the other side with the gallery. So it's about adding those two inputs together and creating beauty through the beautification of turning Langa green.
Gardener Mzi Kabawa Masitrila has found his latest market coming to him.
It's an organic garden, and I'm using doing a lot of herbs and vegetables, but strictly herbs, because I believe herbs can heal a lot of people in our community.
What we should continue doing that makes us unique and diverse as South Africans is to keep inspiring each other, to keep holding each other. Unity is most important. We are celebrating 30 years into our new democracy, and we still have a long way to go. And it's very important that we reshape, rebuild, and create a different outlook in how the world views us. And for that to happen, we need to view ourselves in the most distinct and unique way. And yeah, there's so much greater opportunities coming.
My hopes for the future is really to inspire the youth of South Africa, to make people understand that sometimes they are standing under the acres of diamonds right under them. We really want to make sure that people take care of their communities, beautify their communities, and make sure that the future is prosperous for all.
Just as there is a place for every color in this rainbow nation, there is also a market for each creative talent, skill, and good idea. If you have a special talent, take it to the next level with a chance of winning a 1,000 Rand cash prize courtesy of Capitec. Simply reply to the competition post on the insidersa.co.za social media platforms using #LiveBetterWithCapitec. T's and C's apply and can be found on the Insider SA website.
Another feel-good production.